Hello, my name is Bill Shudwar, Executive Director of the Door County Economic Development Corporation. And we're pleased again this year to recognize Industry of the Year for Door County. And I'm pleased to introduce you to Steve Pfeiffer, one of the owners of Marine Travelift, ExactTech, and he's here with us today to receive the recognition for this Industry of the Year. Steve, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bill. We're very proud to be the Industry of the Year in Door County, and we're proud to be in Door County. On behalf of my partner Jim Ashton, the managers and team members of this fine company, we'd like to accept and thank you very much for the award and the recognition.
Well, Steve, it's very deserving. You've been involved now with this company for about 3 years or so. Tell us how you got involved with Marine Travelift.
It's a very interesting story. We bought the company back in July of '03. Prior to that, ExactTech, which was my company down in Port Washington, Wisconsin, was a supplier to Marine Travelift. At that point, we were building a large structure for the 600 and 800-ton machines. Jerry Lamer came down to visit one day, and I had asked Jerry, I said, if you're ever looking for an exit strategy, please let me know. One thing led to another. That conversation was in February. We closed in July of that year. I think a big part of it was our commitment to Jerry and Al to leave the company in Sturgeon Bay. Quite frankly, it was a very attractive part of the discussions for us. We think Sturgeon Bay and Door County in general is a tremendous area to do business, and we thought it had great growth potential from a strong workforce in the community. I owned ExactTech prior to Jim and I buying Marine Travelift. So ExactTech bought Marine Travelift. We then sold that facility in Port Washington, and we moved ExactTech up to Sturgeon Bay and put the expansion on. And there's, as I said, maybe 135 people down there right now. So ExactTech and Marine Travelift and Shuttlelift are all one and the same.
Tell us, what kinds of jobs have you been creating?
The types of jobs, they are across the board. And what I mean by that, engineering jobs, sales jobs. We have 8 salespeople in-house and 1 over at our new office in England. On the shop floor, we have assemblers, we got fabricators, we have machinists, we have warehouse people, we have shipping and receiving. It's been across all stratas of the company. And we're providing high caliber jobs such as machinists and welders and all the skilled trades. And I think it's a tribute not only to the company, but to the county in the area that we're located, that people want to move from southeastern Wisconsin and come up here.
Well, that's a nice benefit of being a Door County business. You can kind of combine the recreational tourism aspects of our county as well as showcase it to manufacturers from around the world.
You're right. And I have a selfish interest also. I used to only be up here in summers. Now I'm up here all the time. By putting ExactTech up here, it really also enhanced the entire business because we became so vertically integrated that we can do the large fabrications and the machining and compete in the world. So we don't have to subcontract that work. There's a tremendous amount of value added in the structure of these very large machines. We've had a concerted push this past year to focus on the industrial gantries. We are up in the oil sands in Canada, and others in the oil markets. We're in the ethanol plants that are being constructed for the alternative energy, helping put those together. We're in the wind power, in addition to the concrete and precast world. So I would say stay tuned, that you're going to see the Shuttlelift, Marine Travelift, ExactTech company grow because of our industrial markets. We are now international. We're into the Middle East, we're into Russia, we're into Europe, we're into Korea, we're into Australia, we're into Malaysia. And we're seeing, from our perspective, with our core competencies, which is gantries, that's where we need to be. That's why we shed the carry deck line. It's not that it's a bad line. The Grove people, with their worldwide distributions, are going to be able to take that further than we ever could, therefore ensuring for those people at their companies growth and continuation.
Steve, let's talk more about the products and how they're produced.
There's really 2 things. There's the fabrication and the assembly side. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. We should probably go on down to ExactTech and take a look at that.
Let's do that.
An assembly, we'll look at that also. The process behind me is called burning. We take the flat We take the flat pieces of steel and we burn them to various geometries just like in a model kit. Those pieces are then welded together to form the beams such as that we're going to see next. I'm standing in front of a 600-ton structure that matches up with the components that you'll see up in our assembly floor. It starts out with raw material, meaning steel that's flat, that's bent to a shape, and then welded together. From that point, it will be blasted and machined and painted and put into a final assembly. This component is also part of that 600-ton. If you look to the inside, you'll see that it's more than just an empty shell. It's got bulkheads, it has stiffeners. In addition to that, this particular component gets machined to accept the trunnion, which allows the machine to flex in uneven circumstances. I'm standing in front of our board bar, our most recent addition for our large machine tool. I'm standing approximately 12 feet of concrete just for the foundation to hold this bar steady. Behind me is a winch bed with a 1,000-ton, million-ton pole that goes for the offshore oil industry. This boring bar was manufactured in Europe. It allows us to be vertically integrated so we can machine not only outside work, but our large machines, such as the 600 and 500-ton machines, where we can make sure that all the components are geometrically correct and fit together. I'm standing in the Travelift Marine Travelift Assembly Bay. At this particular facility, this is where all the components are meshed together and we build the final product as one might see it go down the road and then ultimately assembled into the final product.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for spending the time and showing us, our audience here, what goes on here at ExactTech and Marine Travelift, and really demonstrating how worthy a candidate you were for this award. And we couldn't be more pleased to recognize you and the work that you're doing. We ask you to keep it up and to continue to grow this company. It's a phenomenal story, and we're really proud for you.
Thank you for all your help, and on behalf of everybody at Marine Travelift and ExactTech, thank you very much.
You're welcome.